Good evening and thanks for joining us for 8 News at 11. I'm Deanna Albritton.
I'm Eric Phillips. Tonight we are ever closer to that major winter storm that is expected to slam the East Coast this weekend.
We have team coverage for you tonight as Central Virginians are preparing for that snow, sleet and rain to impact the region. Storm Tracker 8 reporter Ben Dennis has more on how the timing of the storm is happening at the same time of the transfer of power in the state capitol.
But we begin with Storm Tracker 8 Chief Meteorologist John Bernier, who has been monitoring the latest weather models. And John, they're starting to show a clearer picture of what's to come.
Yeah, oh yes, and while there's still a chance for a little wiggle room in here to see what's going to be happening with the storm, you know, there'll be a couple fine-tune adjustments over the next 48 hours. But again, this storm is one that's going to come a little further inland. Center of it's going to come right across central Virginia. I-95 just kind of a good dividing line for where it's going to go. If it was off the coast, 100 miles to the east, it'd be a much different picture for us. This is the Futurecast, Sunday morning, bright and early, 7 a.m. Getting up, maybe want to go for a morning run. You can probably get that in early. You got a couple of hours to get that done. But as we go through the morning hours, by the time we get to 9 and 10 a.m., here we go. The light snow is beginning to overspread us here. The heavier snow beginning to approach. And at least we've got a period into the middle of the day. This is 1:30 in the afternoon. You see snow over us here, but here's the mixed precipitation beginning to build in over us. That will change things over to sleet. And then it'll start bringing in some rain as we go later on in the afternoon. And we'll have some pretty good rain potentially as we go late afternoon, early evening hours. By around 7:50, we're at the back edge of this precipitation. It's moving on out of the way. Bottom line on all of this is well off to the west of us. Shenandoah Valley could be looking at a foot or more in a few spots. We also may have the possibility just east of it, besides 5 to 10 inches of snow, some heavy sleet is possible. That could cause some problems for power lines. And then the amounts diminish as you go to the east, so you get western Goochland, western Beaver Dam area, maybe up to 5 inches. You go east of town, about 2 inches, then much less down to the southeast of us. It is also going to be, I think, a little windy on Sunday, too. We'll talk more about that coming up.
All right. Thanks, JB. Can't wait for the full breakdown. Now, with that winter storm coming on Sunday, it may not be the first day in office Governor-elect Youngkin had imagined.
And with the I-95 crisis that happened during his predecessor's final days in office, Virginians are hoping this time around the state is more prepared. 8 News reporter Ben Dennis is joining us live in Chesterfield tonight with more. Ben.
Eric, Dana, good evening to you. The governor-elect has promised a lot on his first day in office, including many policy agenda items where there's a curveball, a snowstorm, and he's hoping to avoid a crisis that his predecessor, current Governor Ralph Northam, had to handle himself. A fumbled response to a near blizzard last week. The frustration still thawing from the memory of drivers left stranded, some for more than 24 hours.
We have not seen any police presence or any aid.
A shutdown like the one on I-95 near Fredericksburg is exactly what everyone hopes to avoid, including an incoming administration. Storm Tracker 8 eyeing a winter storm nearly 24 hours after the governor-elect will be sworn in.
It could be ugly.
That's Shepard Miller, Glenn Youngkin's pick to head VDOT. Just today, he faced the House of Delegates Transportation Committee, and notably, no elected officials asked him any questions about the storm or his qualifications.
No one?
Perfect.
Thank you. Thank you.
The agency he's hoping to head, apologizing just this week for the catastrophe on 95.
I am just so sorry that that happened to anybody. It's heartbreaking for me that that happened to anyone.
While I-95 will likely dodge treacherous conditions like last week, it's I-81 and U.S. Route 29 to look out for, both west of Metro Richmond.
We're doing everything that we can to make sure that we keep our roads safe, that we keep them open, and that we keep commerce flowing and the citizens being able to get from place to place.
And tonight, Youngkin's team tells me the governor-elect has received briefings from the Virginia Department of Emergency Management on all emergency operations and is actively coordinating with them on procedures for the incoming weather. It's the first weather test for an incoming governor and a shakeup at the Department of Transportation. And though Miller still has to be confirmed as Virginia's next Secretary of Transportation, he already sits on the Commonwealth Transportation Board. He's got some oversight role there. Now, there's going to be a judge about the state's preparedness and response after the snowstorm passes. The public in Chesterfield. Ben Dennis, 8 News.